With today's video, I want to see if we can make this gourmet. Will it gourmet? So that's the point of today's video. And before we get started, do me a huge favor. Go ahead, smash the like button down below. It takes 1 second. It really helped my channel grow, and I really appreciate it, guys. All right, so without further ado, let's see if this Spam will gourmet. Let's get started. And as usual, I'll have all the ingredients listed in the description box down below. For today's recipe, I will be treating the Spam like I would mortadella and making a stuffed pasta recipe. Now I have a pasta dough video recipe for you linked in the description box down below. Take a saucepan and heat it up over medium heat. We're going to add in our butter and let this get nice and melted. Once that happens, we're going to sweat our shallots. Now I don't really want any color. I just want it to be nice and translucent just to help bring out its sweetness. Once we achieve that, we're going to add in some Spam. Just saute this for a bit just so you see a little bit of color and also sweat out some of its fat, which is going to help flavor the filling. We're going to deglaze the pan with our vinegar mixture, add some pepper. Now with this dish, because I will be adding cheese and the Spam is pretty salty itself, we don't really need to add any extra salt outside of the pasta water that we'll be using to boil our pasta. Now combine the potatoes and just make sure that everything is well incorporated. I'm going to add a little bit of milk just to thin out and make the potatoes a little bit creamier, as you can see right here. And I did turn this heat down to a low because I don't want to scorch the potatoes. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white truffle butter just to make this a little bit more gourmet. I mean, the point of this video is to see if Spam will gourmet. Pecorino Romano is going to add another dimension of flavor. You can add as little or as much as you want, but be careful of the salt content. You want to give this a taste to make sure that you're not over salted. Now just fold in the chopped pistachios. It's going to give our pasta filling a nice textural contrast. Once that's done, go and put it in a piping bag or a plastic bag. It's going to make filling these pastas a lot easier, and just pop this into the fridge until it's time to use it. And when it comes to stuffed pastas, I like to roll my pasta sheets out to the second to the thinnest setting. But you can also go ahead and roll it out to as thin or as thick as you like your pasta. And here I am, I'm measuring and cutting out with a fluted pasta wheel to 2-inch squares. When you're done cutting out all your little pasta squares, it's time to fill the pasta. Now, as you can see, in a piping bag makes this a lot easier. The pasta shape that we're making today is called Fagottini. Now, all you have to do is make all 4 corners meet up at the top, just like I'm doing right here. Just give it a gentle push so they all fold together to form a little pyramid. Now, to crimp the top, you just form your fingers like this. That way you can kind of squeeze all 4 corners like that I'm doing, and just give the bottom a little pat, and you're done. If you want to make this easy on yourself, you can also work on these pasta shapes on your work surface, just like how I'm doing. It's always important to fold all the corners up to meet in the middle, and to crimp the edges, make sure that they're tightly sealed. That way none of the filling comes out when you're boiling your pasta. And continue the process until you are done stuffing and shaping all of your Fagottini. And once you're done, you should be left with these beautiful pasta shapes. This Fagottini pasta is one of my favorite pasta shapes to make. Now let's get some water boiling and season it with some salt. You want it to be as salty as the sea. That is what flavors your pasta. In a saute pan, heat it up over medium-high heat. You can add some olive oil, a little bit of diced Spam. You want a little bit of caramelization on it to bring out some more flavor. Some baby shiitake mushrooms. Get this all coated in the olive oil and a little bit of the fat the Spam has released. And a little bit more truffle butter never hurt anybody. Now for my stock, I'm using mushroom stock. If you don't have it, feel free to use vegetable stock or chicken stock. And I also want to use an Asian technique of using arrowroot, or you can use cornstarch to thicken up the sauce to make it like a gravy. Instead of having our Fagottini pasta sitting in broth, I want it to be coated with a gravy. And as you can see here, it's getting a little thick, and I'm going to thin it out with just a little bit more mushroom stock. And as you can see, this is the consistency I'm looking for. Once you get your sauce to this point, it's time to cook the pasta. Now these won't take very long at all. It took about 45 seconds. Stir them around a little bit so they don't stick together, and once they float to the top like this, scoop them out and toss them into the pan with the sauce, the mushrooms, and the Spam, and give this a nice toss till everything is evenly coated. And again, I'm going to mount this with a little bit of more white truffle butter. And that's all the cooking that there is. Grab yourself a nice bowl and start to plate. I like to make sure that all the pastas are facing upwards. That way it gives the dish a nice uniform look. Make sure your mushroom and Spam garnishes are spread evenly throughout your dish to make this more visually appealing. And some final garnishes, I like to use more freshly grated pecorino romano. Now this is the part where you can add as little or as much as you want. And I love to go in and give this some greenery with some chopped chives. And I finish all my pastas off with some extra virgin olive oil. Now this is our Spam Fagottini with baby shiitake mushrooms in a thickened mushroom brodo with pecorino and white truffle butter. If you like bologna, if you like mortadella and all that stuff, I'm not saying it's in the same category, but the texture is very similar to all those things. And if you eat hot dogs, then you're gonna eat Spam. All right, so calm down. All right, so here's the first bite. Have some pasta for you. We have some, we have some Spam and mushrooms. If any Italians out there watching, listen, I don't mean to offend you, but it's really good. This thicker sauce, kind of like this gravy, sets it over the top. I'm waiting for all the hate comments down below from all the angry Italians. But guys, hey, Asians invented pasta. You guys just use it. I'm just kidding. But look at, I think it's quite nice. It's lovely. The pasta is nice and tender. Spam is, you know, Spam. You get the little crunch from pistachios on the inside. And this thickened broth, this thickened brodo or this gravy, coats the pasta so well. I know so many Italians are out there hating on me right now, but this isn't an Italian dish then. This is an Asian dish, if it makes you feel better. Just having fun. That's what cooking is all about, having fun with food, flavors, techniques. Why can't you cross over? I think, yeah, this is pretty cool. Guys, look at, my pasta looks pretty nice. Oops. It's dripping everywhere. It's getting excited. This is really awesome. I can't stop eating it. It's pretty good. And no, I'm not being sponsored by Spam at all. So if you find yourself with just a can of Spam in your pantry, you shouldn't dread it. Embrace it. Make something. Have some fun. Now, to answer today's question of will it gourmet, I believe the answer is yes. We were able to take some Spam and turn it into a nice gourmet dish that was not only visually appealing, but very tasty. And since I have this extra can of Spam here, I will probably be making this in the future for my friends to see if they agree with what was going on here. And before you go, do me a huge favor, smash the like button down below, like and subscribe. Really appreciate that, guys. Again, always fun, always having a good time. Take care of yourselves, and as always, peace.